Mini 3 versus Mini 4 Pro, that is the million-dollar question. Should you upgrade? Is it better? Is it worth it? We're going to find that all out today. We're going to really dive into the image quality and compare them together, but let's talk about the features first. So the main upgrades on the Mini 4 Pro would be 100 frames, 4K with D-Log-N 10 bits. And D-Log-M, if you don't know, is basically their log profile. It's not as flat and as professional as D-Log. That's why it has an M attached to it, but it's still great. Gives you some extra dynamic range, which I would appreciate. I would be very interested to see how it performs in a second. It also has Active Track 360 and some really enhanced controls to make flying even easier. But honestly, it has improved so much. So that in itself might be a reason for some people who like to run or just film themselves when they're jogging about. That could be a reason itself to upgrade. It also has these little improved obstacle sensors on the back here, which definitely would be very welcome. No one wants to crash. That probably makes the drone worth more because you're not likely going to lose it. The birds are going crazy, but can shoot HDR 4K 60. Oh my goodness. It's got a night mode, which I don't know how beneficial that would be versus just doing it yourself. We've also got an option for a longer flight time battery, about 40-ish minutes. Obviously, it's always a bit less than what they quote. And lastly, they got the O4 transmission system. You can watch someone else's range tests, but honestly, the connection's so good, you can fly as far as you can. And by that time, it's probably going to be illegal. So, I mean, it's a great feature to say the least, another reason that you should upgrade. But I think on paper, just right here and there, those are some pretty decent reasons to upgrade. The longer signal, the D-Log-M, I think would be very valuable. We'll test out in a second. The obstacle sensing, the fact that it reduces the chance to crash a drone, that makes this drone even more valuable, and these birds are so loud. The improved active track, literally, I can't lose the drone. It's pretty insane. If those features appeal to you, you might be thinking about an upgrade, but the elephant in the room is that the sensor is exactly the same as the old Mini 3 Pro. Exactly the same size. ND filters literally fit on both drones exactly the same. So we're going to see if D-Log-M makes much of a difference, and we'll talk about what's actually worth it later. Let's do a quick quality test right now. Alright, so now pixel peeping between the DJI Mini 4 Pro and the DJI Mini 3 Pro. If everything's well exposed and you're not pushing things to limits, it looks fairly similar, even if you're shooting D-Log-M versus Cine D. When the highlights are similarly exposed, there are some more details in the shadows, which goes to show that there is more dynamic range in D-Log-M. I'll leave it towards your judgment to say how big of a difference it makes, but look, I take any image improvements at the end of the day. I also just cranked the ISO up to see if there's any difference in performance. I don't know if it was because I was using D-Log-M, but the image was always slightly brighter on the Mini 4 Pro, which kind of lends itself to better low light performance. When looking at max 16,000 ISO, there is a bit of a tinge on the Mini 3 Pro, and the Mini 4 Pro does look a bit more pleasing, especially in low light, so there's also an improvement there. I then quickly tested the active track on both drones, and I nearly crashed the Mini 3 Pro. It was about a foot away from the wall, and it was not stopping. I was going to say the fact that the D-Log-M I don't think made that much of a difference. My voiceover will confirm in a bit, but I was going to say the differences aren't that stark. But the fact that I did the active track test there, and I was so close to going straight into that pylon. If I didn't press go last second, the thing wasn't slowing down. It was going to go straight in there. I was about to crash. And I was like, my God. Meanwhile, I had the Mini 4 Pro out. I was just flying around. It flew really close to everything. And you should have seen it. I was a bit nervous, but the sensors picked it up. No worries. So I feel like that, although quite an underrated feature, is probably a reason to upgrade right then and there. Yeah, that is pretty outstanding. All right, so Mini 4 Pro versus Mini 3 Pro, what should you actually buy? I think in summary, if you're interested in not flying sport mode and you need actual obstacle detection, then the Mini 4 Pro is by all means the right option. I nearly flew that thing straight into a wall, so the Mini 4 Pro is actually well improved, so you should definitely get that. If, however, you just want to thread gaps, fly really close to the ground, you're going to turn sport mode on a lot, which basically means you'll have no obstacle detection anyway, then feel free to buy the Mini 3 Pro. The image quality difference isn't that noticeable. It's obviously better on the Mini 4 Pro, but is it worth a few extra $100? I'm not sure about that. But that being said, it's nice to have that 100 frames per second, have all those additional features. Active track works like a second cameraman. It's outrageous. So Mini 4 Pro would be a great option. I would personally only sell the Mini 3 Pro to get the Mini 4 Pro if I can get a good deal, sell it for a decent amount of money. I don't have to spend like over $400 upgrading. But in short, the Mini 4 Pro is epic. Either of these drones are great. These are honestly the best travel drones, period, out there. And I obviously own a lot of FPV drones, and the only drone I actually own that's a DJI series, that's not an FPV drone, is the Mini 3 Pro. So these are solid drones, regardless. You should definitely get it if you want a drone to travel with. Even if you're a beginner, these things basically fly themselves. They're so good. I'm talking a lot. I hope you enjoyed this quick one because I'm under the pump right now. We have some plans to do some traveling soon, but I hope this gave you some value. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.